So sir, this question, I mean, like everyone kind of wants to know about it. Which is your favorite event in school, sir?
The GK quiz.
So you hosted the GK quiz last year.
Yes.
So why is it your favorite?
Because again, there's so much scope to be creative with that event.
Okay.
I think it's one of the events that's meant for people that are a little more bookish like me.
Okay.
Because it's not always that you get a chance to test your knowledge of how much you know in fun and creative ways. And we are coming up with new rounds for this year as well.
So one question.
Yeah.
Are you going to host it?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So he's going to host the event. So the Bishop's Co-ed School Kalyani Nagar Junior College is organizing a fest, Synchrony. So can you tell the audience a little bit about it?
So the idea of Synchrony actually came up from you and the head girl, Amrita. And the idea was that the junior college students host a fest for the other junior colleges. So the children of our school will only be in an organizing capacity rather than participate in the event. So it consists of 8 events, which again are across 4 different categories. You've got marketing, you've got art, then you've got oratory, you've got literary. And I think with an event as diverse as that, it gives people from across various genres to come and participate, which I think was a great initiative. And that's why the minute we heard the idea, we also said, let's go ahead with it. We will be, of course, hosting a roundtable conference with all of you so that we can connect with the target audience for the fest, so that even they get a better understanding. And I think it's always nicer to hear about these events from people who have come up with it. So yeah, that is definitely an episode in the making for the future.
Yes, sir. So one more thing that you've mentioned about a lot of clubs, co-curriculars happening in schools. So how does all this help a student getting into a college or applying into a college for a college?
See, as I've said before, today when we look at education, it's not just about your marks on a sheet of paper.
Yes, sir.
Back in the day, a 10th grade mark sheet had a lot of value.
Yes, sir.
Today, your 10th grade mark sheet will only get you into a junior college. Beyond that, the funny thing is, your 10th grade mark sheet is used to verify your date of birth. And that's where the validity of it kind of ends. So when you have co-curriculars,
Yes, sir.
it builds different kind of competencies in the way we've got, like I mentioned, we've got something called as 21st century skills.
Yes, sir.
Now these 21st century skills are skills that colleges are looking for, companies are looking for, because kids need to go beyond the classroom
Yes, sir.
in order to succeed. Now what are these 21st century skills? You've got creativity, you've got innovation, you've got collaboration, there's communication, there's financial literacy, and a few others. Now when you have clubs run by the students, automatically students get put into various roles, because they need to collaborate with one another, they need to communicate, they need to come up with various ideas. Similarly with the fest as well. Now that you are organizing the fest, you will also realize, that there's a skill set that you will develop while organizing this fest.
Yes, sir.
So when we have children applying to colleges, of course, if you're applying to Indian universities, a lot of weightage is given on the entrance scores, not so much as your class 12 grades. But then when you try to apply for higher education internationally, what they look at is your co-curriculars. Yes, the academic aspect of it is one. You need to have your grades. But as I've mentioned, education is much beyond grades on a sheet of paper. And that is where all these clubs, they add an advantage to you, because you are a part of something beyond just your textbooks. And that's what colleges and companies more so are looking for today. And that's why even we want to give a platform to the kids, so they have an advantage over the rest.
Fine, so understood. So now this is something which most of the viewers want to see or want to hear actually. It's your life outside school.
Okay.
It's your hobbies. It's the things which you like to do. The sport which you like, the teams which you follow. So let's start one by one, sir.
Okay.
So what is your favorite hobby, sir?
Favorite hobby?
Yes, sir.
Say listening to music.
Listening to music, sir. Understood. Do you prefer that above traveling or not?
See, traveling I cannot do always, but music, yes. So if you ask me about a hobby, it would be music. Traveling is a passion.
Passion.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay. So see, traveling is a passion. It's something that I absolutely live for.
Okay.
When I look at hobbies, hobbies for me is something that you do in your free time.
Okay.
So yeah, listening to music for sure.
So what kind of music are we talking about?
It's a rather controversial take, but if you check my playlist, you'll actually find a lot of 90s.
So that kind of music.
See, the 90s for me, today of course in school, we've got an idea where everyone feels like it's only classy to listen to English music. But for me, like I've said, my playlist is it's mainly 90s Bollywood, to be honest.
So which singer in particular?
Udit Narayan.
Some very controversial statements about him recently.
A lot of people actually, probably have not heard about Udit Narayan, and like you mentioned, it's just a recent controversy. But as a singer, I think he's got one of the best voices, one of the most unique voices to grace the mic. So yeah, I listen to a lot of him.
Fine, sir. So in English, we've seen that all these recent concerts, like you take Ed Sheeran, you take Coldplay, you take Maroon 5, you were present everywhere. So,
yes.
Sir, one question, sir. My personal question. How much did you pay for the Coldplay ticket?
How much did I pay for the Coldplay ticket? I got it at retail.
You got it at retail?
Yes.
How much was that?
7,000?
Fine. And
So
people were buying for 36,000?
People spend a lot of money. But see, the Coldplay concert is a vibe in itself.
Yes, sir.
And so initially I was being offered tickets for free because a friend of mine got tickets and he said, let's go along.
Yes, sir.
But then those were in the stands. Okay.
So do you prefer standing in a concert or sitting?
I would prefer to stand at the concert, but this was right in one of the stands right up there.
Okay.
And that was not somewhere that I wanted to be.
Okay.
So I was hunting for tickets for Coldplay, and another friend of mine from Delhi. So we had a conversation and she said that one of the people that were going with her, he backed off the last minute. And so she had standing tickets, and that's how she was ready to give it to me at retail price. So I managed to go for Coldplay at retail price, and fantastic view right next to the ramp.
So we saw on your story, sir.
Yes.
So one more thing which the audience might be knowing, students particularly. So was in Ed Sheeran's story, if you all don't know. When Ed Sheeran was performing, he took a story, and so was right there. So how did you get the tickets so close? I mean, did you get VIP or what? What was it?
No. So fortunately, Ed Sheeran had only one type of tickets. If you want to get close to the stage, you need to go as early as possible.
Sir, how much earlier are we talking?
See, Sheeran was still a respectable 3:30. But for Coldplay, I got in line at around 12 noon. And by the time Coldplay came on stage, that was 7:45, 8 in the evening. Now try and understand this. If you're in line at 12 noon, you can't move.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you are in one line, you're sitting you're just sitting on the floor. You try and make friends around you.
How was that, sir?
It was good. At one point we were playing cards because someone decided to carry a pack of cards with them. So we were playing cards, just sitting there. And as soon as the gates opened, it was a sprint from the gate to the ramp. Even for Sheeran also, you go in early for any concert. Okay, if you really want to be close to the stage or close to the area where the artists are coming in and going out, you go as early as possible. Fortunately, there was enough water, or dehydration would be an issue. But the more water you consume, it leads to other issues which you can't excuse yourself for.
Okay, sir. No comments. So now let's talk about one of the most important topics of this podcast. Your traveling, sir.
Okay.
One question. basic question everyone has, sir. You travel for at least 20 to 25 days,
Yes.
twice a year, Europe, wherever you go. So the finances, how do you manage? I mean, how does that get into the picture?
The financials. I think as Indians in general, we believe in luxury traveling.
Yes.
Okay, where you want 5-star hotels, you want to travel by taxis everywhere. But travel today, the scenario is changing. So the expenses for a trip is not as high as everyone thinks it to be. I would say at this point a certified backpacker, because I live only in hostels, where you share your dormitory with a few other people. These are all centrally located. So that actually takes care of a big amount of the travel. It is much cheaper because you are living in hostels that are centrally located. So you automatically don't need transport to move around to, the common places. So that's why I know there's been a lot of discussion about how much does he make. I will not comment on that. But what I will say is that it's very easy to manage finances, because as opposed to luxury traveling, backpacking is so much budget friendly, it's so much pocket friendly, that even 24 days, it will not hurt you as much as everyone thinks it does. And that's why there are a few things that you can keep in mind. One is you choose hostels, centrally located. Most cities come with travel cards for 24 hours, 48 hours, for the entire duration that you are living there. That gives you access to all public transport, whether it's buses, trams, metros, you name it. So Europe being Europe, public transport is absolutely excellent. So that again gives you an ease to move around the city. So yeah, I manage. I mean, it's not just manageable. In fact, it's thriving in a way. But I don't spend as much as everyone thinks I do.
So this planning, all this travel details which you've got. So was it always like this, or did you learn things time by time?
The first time I traveled internationally, there was a travel agent that did everything.
Okay.
Because I had never.
So what was that place?
The first time I went was London.
London.
And
Fine.
so it was London, Paris, and then a bit of Italy after that.
So how many times have you visited Paris till now, sir?
How many times visited Paris? About 4 times. It's not one of my favorite places. I absolutely do not like the city, but Paris is a place that keeps calling you back for something or the other. But yeah, so the first time it was a travel agent that did it, because I wasn't sure about the visa processes. But then when I saw what the travel agent was doing, I realized that this was something that I could do myself.
Yes,
and there's a reason why my travel looks very different to what the others do. It's because everything is done by me itself. Okay. So I sit with a map, then I chalk out, okay, which countries I would like to visit. Then I map it down on that map, and then have 2 or 3 simultaneous websites running.
Guys, good tips. Take note.
Yeah, so you have 2 or 3 websites running simultaneously to see what are your best transport options. Buses and trains are absolutely cheap. You don't need to fly from one city to the other. So you do buses, and then simultaneously you check your hostels, you check viability. And yeah, that's when you have a start date, you have an end date. And the paperwork's absolutely simple. So this is something that I got into, and eventually it's every time I see holidays on the planner, there's a sky scanner that's open on my system. It's something that I do in all my free time.
So, I mean, we have got quite a few questions on travel later.
Okay.
But just one thing, why Europe? Why not any other continent? I mean, how many times have you visited Europe till now?
Around 8 or 9 times.
9 times you've been to Europe.
Yes.
So why Europe?
Europe is a mix of everything. See, what people seem to forget is Europe's a continent. It consists of about 26 or 27 countries. Each country comes with a unique landscape, culture, language, food. So when you're exploring a country, I know, so here's what people don't understand about traveling. a lot of people just want to tick off the number of countries visited.
Yes.
So they visit one city and it's like, I've done with the country. Okay, that is not my idea of travel. When I travel to a place, I would like to spend time in different cities. I'd like to walk around different lanes, sit at cafes. So I'm not satisfied till I have explored a country properly. So each time I go, I cover about 3 or 4 countries. Now, if I have 26 or 27 countries to cover, it requires a number of trips back and forth.
So are we planning to visit Europe again?
Yes, I already have my next trip planned.
So can we get a little bit information on that?
So the next trip ideally should be Portugal and Spain, and then I need to build on it because each trip has to be different from the other. But Portugal I've never visited. I've done a bit of Spain, but there are certain regions in Spain that I haven't visited yet. So I would like to go there. But as of now, Spain and Portugal's in the mix.
Okay.
But let's see, you start somewhere, you might just end up with something else. But yeah, right. As of now, it's Spain and Portugal.
So one more important aspect is sport.
Yes.
You follow a lot of sports. You've been to an India-Pakistan cricket match. You've been to Roland Garros. You follow F1. You follow Premier League. You follow quite a few things, sir. So
yes.
I've got this question. Most basic question, sir. Which is your favorite sport?
Which is my favorite sport? Tennis.
Lawn tennis.
Yes.
Fine. Why? Do you have any particular reason to love lawn tennis?
I think I prefer individual sport more than team sport.
Okay.
Because when it's an individual sport, you are connected to the game the entire time. Yes. Your mind is connected to the game the entire time. You have to be on the lookout. You have to be vigilant. So it would be individual sport, and tennis is something that I've been watching since a kid. So it's just something that I, was very fascinated about, and so that's why tennis.
So favorite player in tennis?
Nadal.
Yeah, have you met Nadal?
Yes.
You've met Nadal?
Yes.
Damn. So talking about football, most of the students in school already know.
Yeah.
Chelsea, it's there. Why Chelsea?
So Chelsea is one of the most controversial clubs to exist today. So the time when I started following Chelsea was when I was in school.
Okay.
So this was somewhere around 2003, 2004. The club moved into new management with Roman Abramovich taking over the club. When that happened, the squad back then was quite unbeatable. You had Drogba, Ballack, Lampard, Terry, Peter Cech in the goal, which I would feel is one of the best goalkeepers to ever exist. You had Cole at the back. So that was such a formidable team. Now Man United was a force to reckon with, and then Chelsea was the team that could stand up to that. Okay. Which is where I developed the love for Chelsea. Now once you develop a love for a particular club, unless you're just a Ronaldo fan and every time he goes from one club to another, your fan following changes. But if you love the club for the club, irrespective of how they're performing, I don't think...
So what do you think about the current Chelsea team?
As we shoot this, we are in the Club World Cup final. So I think we are doing pretty well. We are improving. It's a very young club. Not a lot of big names. Cole Palmer, of course, has made a name once he's come up with Chelsea. So we are getting there. I think the team is coming together pretty well. It's a young team and it gives you a lot of scope to grow and improve.
So internationally, like in FIFA World Cup, which team do we support?
England.
England. Any particular reason?
No, not really. I think, but England, I think it's more to do with the ancestral background, so England for one. Again, on paper, it's one of the best teams to have not won the World Cup, in recent times. But yes, if you look at it as a team, I think England is definitely one of the best teams out there.
So moving on to F1, sir.
Okay.
2025 British Grand Prix, sir. What do you think?
What do I think about the British Grand Prix? Are we talking about Nico Hülkenberg or are we talking about Oscar Piastri?
No, so we're talking about Nico.
I think Nico Hülkenberg is a perfect example of not giving up. Because see, he is someone who was a part of Formula 1 no longer driving for a team, and then got back into Formula One with Haas. And for him to secure a podium the way he did, it seemed that it was almost scripted. Everyone said that this was, life imitating art, because if you saw the Formula One movie, it's a very similar story with Brad Pitt's character,
Yes.
where, it's a bottom team and suddenly, going on to the podium. So it was a great race. Do I feel bad about Oscar Piastri? Absolutely. I think, yes, you do make certain decisions in the heat of the moment, but the 10-second penalty, I think, was a little too much for him.
Sir, what do you think about the latest Red Bull controversy?
Christian Horner is a perfect example again for everyone in school and college. A man dedicated 20 years to an organization, one of the most successful team principals, so many World Drivers' Championships, Constructors' Championships, race wins under the belt. But the minute the results started going south, he was fired. Now, we don't really know what the exact reason is. What everyone is saying is definitely it's due to the performance of the team. And it just shows, that you can be at the top of your game all your life. But the minute you start losing that consistency, you will get fired. So, am I surprised by it? Not really.
Okay.
But I think for someone who has spent 20 years with a team, the exit could have been a little more graceful, than what it was.
So what do you think about Verstappen? Will he shift from Red Bull to Mercedes?
Could. It's very early to say. If you've read the news, both Max and Toto Wolff were in Sardinia yesterday. Okay, so there's a lot of speculation that Max was there for just about 4 or 5 hours, because see, today you can track your flights.
Yes, sir.
And so they were in Sardinia together, and everyone's just thinking that it's because, they're striking up a deal. So there's a possibility that he could go to Mercedes.
Fine, sir. So one question which everyone has, sir. Why is your Insta handle I'm always angry?
To begin with, no one was supposed to know that was my Insta handle. When I became headmaster, I thought that, I will change the handle to something a little more official. But then the day I came here, an Instagram post went out on the school official page. We welcome Eats Ashley as the principal, and I'm always angry as headmaster. Now, that in itself was so funny, and I think it was a little too late for me to change it. I think the handle I'm always angry is something that just summarizes a lot of my day.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, I will agree with that.
So, just to know, where did the inspiration come from? If you've watched the Avengers,
yes.
There is a scene in the Avengers 1 at the end.
The Hulk one.
The Hulk one, yeah, exactly. So he is asked this question, what's your secret? Because they try to, poke him, and he keeps us calm. And he says, the secret is I'm always angry. Because I think similar to that, I'm not comparing myself to the Hulk, even though there's one on my table.
There's one
And
Hulk that's kept
there's also a portrait of half Hulk, half me on my page as well. I just feel it's so quick to turn from, I could be very calm, but it just takes a fraction of a moment for me to turn into the other person.
Yes, sir, I agree.
So I think for me that was a very apt username, and something that you will never forget.
No one will, sir.
Yeah.
So now the next part, it's actually something interesting. Now these are the questions which are asked by students.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I get to know who's asking the question?
No, sir, you don't get to know that. So
fine.
this is like a this or that question.
Okay.
So basically either this or that.
Okay.
Asked by students. So sir, starting off. Monday morning assembly or Friday last period?
Monday morning assembly.
Okay. Sinner or Alcaraz?
Alcaraz.
Debates or elocutions?
Debates.
Formula 1 or football?
Formula 1.
Vacation in the hills or beachside stay vacation?
Beachside staycation.
Okay. Students being too quiet or too loud?
Quiet.
Okay. So city life or countryside?
Countryside.
Phone calls or texts?
Texts.
Nature trailer or historical site?
Nature trail.
Board exams or internal assessments?
Board exams.
This last one is my personal question. Math or physics?
Physics.
Why?
Physics is where you actually apply everything that you learn,
Okay.
because when you study something, it should be something that you can apply. So math is something you learn a lot of concepts but probably not apply a lot of it. But everything around us has some application, and the roots of the application you will generally find it in physics. So I
So
find
you like
physics.
teaching physics and learning physics both?
Yeah, absolutely. See, there's a reason also, mechanical engineering was a choice of branch because it dealt with physics in depth.
Okay.
So if I have to choose between math and physics, definitely physics.
Fine, sir. So one more round, good round, rapid fire. You cannot think, you cannot give proper reasoning, just
Okay.
answer the question.
Just the answers, okay.
Okay. Favorite time of the year?
Winter.
Favorite song?
Thinking out loud.
That's an English song, sir.
Yes.
Dream vacation spot?
Greece.
Lawn tennis in 3 words?
I don't know, captivating, individual, athleticism.
Okay. Most chaotic school memory?
Most chaotic school memory. I don't really think there was any chaos with me involved. It was all smooth sailing.
Okay, sir. If your life had a theme song, which one would it be?
I think more than a theme song, there is an intro.
Okay.
I don't know how many of them know the Imperial March. That's when Darth Vader enters the room and you have that Imperial March playing.
Yes.
I think it's something that would suit, when I walk around. So I think if there was a theme related to me, it would be the Imperial March.
So we know that you have a PS5. So which is your favorite PS5 game?
I own a PS5, but that PS5 hasn't been in my house for the last 6 months.
So what do you mean?
I lent it to someone who probably would use the PS5 more than me.
So you never use a PS5 in your life?
I did, but just for maybe once in a month or something.
Ouch,
So
that hurts.
I haven't seen the PS in the last few months, and I hope it's in a good condition.
So most used emoji?
Most used emoji, the skull emoji.
Why?
I think it gives up enough expressions in itself, so it's self-explanatory. So the skull emoji.
Fine, sir. A subject which you hated in school?
Geography.
No learning? A thing students don't know about you?
I think students don't know about me. I think I've already said it, that I'm a very shy person in
Okay.
reality outside school.
So last show you binged?
Last,
Show you binged?
I don't really binge, so no, I watch 10 shows simultaneously.
time?
Yeah.
Okay. So most dreaded school duty, as in being the headmaster, something which you hate?
Something which I hate.
So you cannot think, sir.
Do I hate something? That's no, nothing.
Okay, guys. One word that your friends would use to describe you?
I think quiet.
Quiet.
Yeah.
Okay. The maximum amount of money which you spent on a vacation?
I think the maximum amount probably will be somewhere around 4 lakhs, not more.
That's the maximum amount?
Yes.
You traveled 25 days?
Yes.
That's the maximum amount?
Yes.
Okay. What's the worst purchase of your life?
The PS5.
So what's the best purchase of your life?
The best purchase of my life? The watch that I'm wearing. It's been with me for 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, it's been with me for 10 years, and I think it's the best purchase.
Okay. Sir, you said that your favorite tennis player is Nadal. You met him. So how was the feeling? When did you meet him? How did you meet him?
So I'd gone to Spain to his hometown, which
Okay.
is Manacor. It's a small little village on the island of Mallorca.
Okay.
Now I had no idea whether he was going to be there because I planned to go there about 3 months before departure.
Okay.
So at Mallorca, there is a Rafa Nadal Academy.
Okay.
There is a Rafa Nadal Museum. And also there's a Rafa Nadal residence. So I decided, that if I am there, I should stay at the academy. The beauty about the academy is that they have full-fledged tennis courts and he trains there.
Okay.
So the day I was there, fortunately he was training. I managed to reach in the nick of time. He was just wrapping up his training and there was an entire crowd on one side. Now, evidently he was not going to exit from that side. There was another exit on the other side. Now some may call it stalking or some may just call it brilliant fortune. I thought, let me try my luck, and I went to the other side. Now the guard did not stop me, so I walked right in. When I went, there were 3 or 4 people standing in suits. I would assume that they're probably sponsors, or it was already pre-decided that they would be there. And as predicted, Nadal came from there. They say never meet your idols, but this moment for me will be etched in my memory forever, because while they were getting their photographs done, now me being one of his biggest fans, I was like, no, could I get a photograph? He said, yeah, don't worry, I will click a picture with you. Now someone of his stature asking me to not worry and saying that I will click a picture with you said a lot about the person himself. He was not in a hurry to get away. He clicked photographs with them, clicked a picture with me. He agreed to a selfie also. And then we started getting autographs done. Then I did not have anything because I wasn't sure if I would even see him at that point. So the t-shirt that I was wearing, I just held it out to him and I said, could you just autograph the t-shirt? And he signed it. So he took his time and eventually he asked all of us if we had enough pictures and autographs, and only then he left. So a man of his stature, 22 majors, as humble as ever beyond the court. So that said a lot, and I think it's definitely one of the best memories to have ever existed.
So where's that t-shirt, sir?
The t-shirt's at home.
It's still there?
It is there, of course. That's not something, that I can part with. So it's got his autograph on that, and someday I would like to frame it up, put it up as one of those core memories that exist.
So what do you think about this podcast, which the school has taken initiative, BMC has taken initiative? So what do you think about it?
I think it's a great way for people to get a little understanding of who you are as a person.
Yes, sir.
The topics that we've discussed today, it's such a wide range of topics. Something that never comes up. As you did mention in the introduction, is just someone that you see seriously walking around school with a frown. But I think it's a good way of them to know the person.
Yes, sir.
And I think it's a great initiative, and kudos to the team that came up with this initiative.
So this has been an amazing conversation. I mean, we are used to seeing you so serious in school, but these stories and all these things which you have just mentioned, it's just helping us to know the person of the chair. Thank you, sir. It was great to have you with us in the podcast.
It was wonderful being here and doing this podcast with you in particular.
Thank you, sir.
So, yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for the upcoming videos.